Hello everyone, my name is Fernando, and today we'll be continuing our Kerbal Space Program 2 series. And today is a very special day because it's the first day since For Science came out. It fixed quite a few bugs, some of which we've had. I believe one of the bugs fixed was the one that blew up the ship on our Minus mission. Anyway, today we're starting our episode with a course correction burn on our Demeter probe, the probe that's going to Dress. I don't remember if I ever told you guys why I named this probe Demeter. Dress, right, is inspired, has a counterpart in the real solar system, which is named Ceres, and Ceres is the Roman name for the god of harvest, which in Greek is called Demeter. I just thought it was cool. Like, that's the naming convention I went with. Unmanned probes get the Greek name, and the manned missions get the Roman name. Anyway, I had completely forgotten about this, but Dress has rings. Aren't they cool? Can't wait to see them up close. In like 4 years when you get here. Moving on to the mission control, we have 3 missions available. Duna Monument, where we need to land somewhere specific on Duna. I don't know how we know where it is. We should have to at least send a probe there. Wheeling and Dealing, which is just make a rover, or a four-wheeled vehicle, doesn't even need to be a rover. And this little Shankar mission, where you send 200 tons to Minus for 28 science. This is disproportionately difficult, right? Landing somewhere specific on Carbon, which is the mission we're gonna unlock soon, right? Gives 15 times more science reward. More, actually. I don't exactly remember how much, but it's more than that. Much more than that. Like, that little Shankar mission needs to be buffed. Anyways, moving on, we have the first Kerboite tour mission, Cappy Rock. We need to land somewhere specific on Carbon. Now, the correct way to do this is to use a plane. However, I'm a bit pressed for time right now, so I don't have time to spend, so I can't really spend the 20 minutes to half an hour it takes to fly over there, right? Anyway, completely rambled over the building of this rocket. What's the objective here? I want to enter a suborbital trajectory, pass over Cappy Rock, then, well, land on it, or at least as close as I can. I overshot a bit, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to use the lander stages, a bit of lander stages fuel. This fuel was supposed to be for maneuvering to get close enough. I don't actually need to land on Cappy Rock from previous testing. I just need to land close enough that I can walk over there with a Kerbal without reloading. If I reload, the game forgets that the Kerbal wasn't in the lander can. We are going just over. Unfortunately, though, we're gonna run out of fuel. We don't have enough to land there. Moving on from that, enough time has passed that we now do actually have a dual transfer window. So we're gonna do several very, very, very long burns. We're gonna have to do 2 11-minute long burns to get on a dual intercept trajectory. To get like from low carbon orbit, we can't really do an 11-minute burn, so what we do is we burn for a little bit at periaps or the maneuver node, and then we wait in orbit and burn around the same place to get most out of the burst effect. Now that we're out of Carbon's sphere of influence, it's a lot easier to make a maneuver node that will get us a dual encounter. And since, well, we're in interplanetary space, we don't really get any advantage from the burst effect. So we're just gonna keep burning and burning and burning for those 11 minutes. Well, you're just gonna get skipped all that. And there we go, have a dual encounter. Now to just make a course correction burn at one of the nodes, one of the ascending nodes. And that's done. I had a bit of science after all that, so I unlocked precision machining, so I could unlock the medium fairings later on. Now, we have a Duna transfer window coming up, so I'm gonna prepare a mission to that. You can see me trying to make a rover small enough to fit on the small cargo base. I can't fit something in there unless I do something weird like a bicycle rover. So I'm not trying that. Instead, I'm just gonna do send 2 satellites and a lander. I'm basically just gonna modify the Zeus mission. Gonna take out 2 of the satellites, 3 of the mapping satellites, and put a bigger, put more fuel in there, so the lander can, well, do a powered landing, because Duna does not have enough of an atmosphere to land just using parachutes like we could on Eve or on Leif. I won't even have to do a docking port. I can just send the entire thing up in one launch. I could have done 2 launches. It would have been a bit out of the transfer window, but it's still fine at this point to do that. Missing the transfer window by a week or 2 isn't that much of a problem. It will just take a bit more delta V and a bit more time to get there. I'm using a bit of the good old Aspargo staging trick, where you have liquid fuel boosters and you feed and use fuel lines to transfer that fuel to the center stage. This is pretty much the most efficient way to do staging, I am fairly certain. I might be wrong on this. Do make sure to let me know in the comments if I am. This game does not like doing calculations on Aspargo staging, however. The delta V calculations are whack. You can see that after I left, I staged the fairings. we lost the delta V calculations. Fortunately, the game is still letting me do maneuver nodes. Usually it doesn't if you don't have delta V. Orbit is circularized. And I still have the first stage, well, technically second stage. Do our carbon escape burn. It is actually quite fortunate that Duna and the carbon are so close together in elevation. Usually you would have to do a course correction burn. Like I had to do with Dress earlier in the video. And we still don't have delta V calculations. It's fine, I guess. And we do get a Duna encounter. I just need to time warp up there. Well, out there in this case. After making sure I wasn't gonna skip a maneuver node, right? As I said, I'm doing this. I'm launching 12 rockets a year, or one rocket every 35 days, so I had to make sure whether I would miss it or not on the alarm clock. Setting up the course correction burn, making sure I get into orbit around Duna, at least at a low orbit, and we get a Ike encounter, which is fortunate because I do have to put a probe in there. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. We have set up quite a few encounters in this episode. We have set up 3 encounters, and hopefully we'll be doing at least a few of those in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and until the next one.